if he goes to the Clippers, they are the title favorites, and it's not close.
Yeah.
James Harden called Daryl Morey a blatant liar. What do we think?
What do we think?
Bro, that was crazy.
I mean, he did lie to him, but then again, James, you kind of agreed to the contract. I know it's a business. I know, you kind of have to take your money, but if you really wanted to be there, you knew for a fact you didn't want to be there. I think the better choice would have just have been to enter free agency.
It probably would have because he took a pay cut, right?
He did.
So he probably could have gotten more money. He probably could have gotten a max contract.
I don't know about
I think
max.
a team would have given him a max.
I don't know if
at the very least, I don't even think he cares too much about the money. I think he just wants to play where he wants to play, and getting that extra year was not a smart decision by James if he wanted to not be there. If he knew that. It's
just year after year, man. It seems like we're guaranteed at some point. How do you do that? We're guaranteed at some point to have a James Harden trade request. He's just never happy. He's never content with anywhere that he is.
Which is fine. But
no, it's just ridiculous.
Daryl Morey can't do what he did, though. If everything's
agree.
No one's going to want to play for him.
But he still didn't want to be there.
Well, here's my thing. I love James Harden. He's in my top 5 favorite players ever to play basketball. Love that man till the death of me. But it's a business. So, yeah, there was a handshake deal like, hey, take a pay cut this year. We're going to pay you next year. But James Harden disappeared in yet another elimination game. So he played his way out of getting that big contract, in my opinion.
He had 2 games in the playoffs.
He's still a valuable player. Like, I love James Harden. He still brings a lot to the table. The playmaking he brings and the ability to just get into the paint, it's still so valuable to an NBA team, but whether it's the Sixers or not, who's paying that guy a max?
That's what I'm saying. Nobody.
Forget about the off-the-court stuff, because that obviously matters too, but just on the court, like, is James Harden a max player right now?
I'd say no. I'd definitely say no. His max.
I think just because he's not playing like he used to doesn't mean he's not a max player. Like, all-star level players are getting max contracts. He's an all-star level player.
But his max is also way higher than most of the other maxes because he's so far into his career. So, like, his max contract would be close to, like, I think 55 or 60 million.
That's only if you make an all-NBA team. Did he make one last year? No, right?
No.
I don't think it'd be that high.
Then
it'd be lower.
In the mid to late 40s. I'm still not paying James Harden.
I don't see James Harden getting a max. I could see him, if he did decide to go for more money, I could see him getting like 30, 35 mil. I don't see like a full max.
Which is actually almost exactly what he's getting at the current moment with the contract.
I think James Harden deserves the max. Let's not sit here and act like he should be getting less than that.
I completely agree.
He's a multiple-time All-NBA player. He's a proven number 1, number 2 scoring option on a team. And he, on top of that, don't do that. He could average 25 on any team he wants.
That's not true. He didn't.
Completely true.
He
took a back seat in Philadelphia.
Bro, you think he could still be a 1 on a team?
He took a back seat to the MVP in the league. He took the number 2 option for the MVP.
Bro,
I think it's possible.
You think James Harden can still be a 1 on a championship level team right now?
On the roster around him?
So here's
Are you serious?
So here's what I mean when I say that. So being the number 1 scoring option doesn't always necessarily mean you're the best player on the team either.
Bro, do you think James Harden could be the number 1 scoring option for a championship level team right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I don't think
I do.
Absolutely fucking
I do
not.
believe that.
Why?
Yeah. And on top of what he brings, obviously he could score. James Harden can average 10 assists.
He was just
anywhere
the 2 to the MVP, and they still lost. And you want to tell me that he could be the 1 on a championship level team?
I think the Sixers' problems ran deeper than I don't
think James Harden.
You go.
Not that I don't think James Harden is a 1. I think he's more than capable of still, going in there, averaging 25, 30, getting his 8 assists. But a team that
not on a winning
wants to win a championship,
Thank you. Let him finish.
You're better off with him as your 2. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree. Oh, sure.
Yeah, you're better off.
With that.
He's definitely still capable of putting up numbers, but does that translate to winning? I don't know, because again, big James Harden guy. That's my guy, but it has struggled to prove to lead to winning in the past when he was in his peak, in his prime. He couldn't get over the hump. Now he's what, in his mid-30s, a bunch of nagging hamstring injuries. Like he's not a number one anymore. And that's okay because he's one of the best number twos in the league.
Agreed.
He was great last season. He was phenomenal in that role. He took, like you said, he took a backseat to Joel Embiid, and he was great. He was among the best, one of the best playmakers in the NBA last year. He was great in the pick and roll, and he was a big reason Joel Embiid got to that MVP. He helped Joel Embiid get to that MVP. So I think he's still a great player. The thing about James Harden is, can you do it in the playoffs? Can you do it in an elimination game when the lights are the brightest? And can you stop, causing all these problems? You bitched and complained. You bitched and complained in Houston because you wanted to go to Philly. You ended up in Brooklyn.
Bitched and complained in Brooklyn.
On arguably what we were saying was the most talented big three ever. And yeah, injuries happened, but whatever. It didn't work there. You bitched and complained to get your way out of there. You got your wish. You got to where you wanted to go originally. You wanted to go to Philly. You wanted to pair back up with Daryl Morey. You wanted to play with the MVP Joel Embiid. And now you're bitching and complaining again that you want out. So where will he be happy?
He wants to go to the Clippers now.
Houston, sure.
And then what happens when he goes to the Clippers this year and Kawhi and PG deal with injuries all year and they
And
get
then he
bounced in the
wants to,
second
yeah.
round? Then what?
Yeah.
He's going to ask out again?
Yep.
Probably.
Yep. That's exactly what he'll do.
No, that's just at
It's
this
a
point,
cycle.
It's the James Harden experience.
Yes.
To me, I don't know. To me, it's just like, just play ball. Just play ball.
I don't understand how people could still think he's a 1 on a championship level team. I don't think obviously I think he could be a top scoring option on a team, but it's crazy to think he'd be a number
like
one scoring option
like
on a
anyone
championship level team.
could be a 1. You know what I'm saying? Zach LaVine could be a 1, but Zach LaVine's not a championship 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's
And James
insane.
Harden and Zach LaVine at this point in their careers are probably in the same tier of player.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
I think James Harden's better.
Yeah, I think he's
Harden's
better too.
like
But they're like,
probably the top of a tier, and LaVine is probably the bottom of that same tier.
That's fair.
or it's like a tier gap, and
Yeah.
James Harden's the bottom of one tier, and Zach LaVine's near the
Top,
top. But
yeah.
they're
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're great number twos. That's what they are.
Yeah.
They're great number twos at this point. But my point is like, yeah, Zach LaVine on a bad team could be the number one option, but a team with Zach LaVine as their number one doesn't have any championship aspirations.
Exactly.
It's
That's
the
where
same thing
Harden's
with
at
James.
now.
Yeah, it's the same thing with James Harden right now, and that's okay. Like that's not taking away anything for. He's in his fucking mid-30s. He's fucking won an MVP before. He averaged 30 for 3 straight seasons. Like he's past his prime,
36.
and that's okay.
But it is getting to the point where he not needs to, but if he wants his legacy to be what other guys is, he needs to get that championship, and he needs to not
Part of that
act the
is
way
Harden.
he's acting.
Exactly. Like
I mean, I genuinely believe. I mean, we talked about this when he first requested the trade. I'm pretty sure, but if he goes to the Clippers, they are the title favorites, and it's not close.
yeah, I agree.
It's not close.
It's just injuries will once again hamper
probably.
a team most likely, which sucks. But if all
Fully-
three of them are
fully
healthy
healthy,
come
they're
playoff
the
time,
championship
it's
favorite.
not even close.
I think they'd be able to win with 2 of them healthy.
like I don't know about that.
They'd still be able to fucking compete.
Yeah.
If
If
someone's
it's
there.
PG and Harden, no. But if it's Kawhi and whoever, I think yes, I agree.
That's fair.
But no, it's.
I don't know.
It's enough.
I still think
I can
think
see
a
it.
team with Paul George and James Harden can compete with anyone.
Anybody.
They're not
Depends who's around them,
they're
but
not
yeah,
as
depends how
good
they're
as
playing.
let's say the Nuggets, but can they compete with them? Hell fucking yeah. Hell yeah.
I don't know, man.
Bro, Paul,
We're talking about
respect
two dudes,
Paul George.
We're talking about 2 dudes that are well known for choking when it matters the most, and I love PG.
who?
Paul George.
Oh
and
my
James Harden.
god. We're still doing that? Come on.
He's a Clipper fan, and he's saying that.
Come on. He had one bad
he's a
series. He
Kawhi
had one
fan.
bad year, bro.
No, I know. But at
The
the
next
same
year he
time,
fucking took them to the conference finals.
He had one in OKC too.
He did have a really bad stinker against the Jazz. That was a rough series too. He had 2.
It
really
wasn't
bad
even a
playoff
stinker.
years.
He was fine against the Jazz.
I don't know about fine, bro. You could go look up stats.
I'm gonna.
They weren't
I
pretty.
remember all the playoff P memes.
Yeah, they
It
were
was
not
that
pretty.
season.
It was that season, and then it continued with the Clips the first year.
Was that 2016?
No, it was
that was
18.
Yeah.
18?
It was the year before the pandemic. It was the year before the pandemic happened. because it was back-to-back seasons where Paul
No.
George
Was
underperformed
it?
in the playoffs. Yes. I'm pretty sure. I don't think PG played another year after
PG
the
was there
MVP season. When he was third in MVP and third in defense
No,
player
yeah,
of
I
the year
think it
voting.
happened before that because that was PG's second year in OKC. I think.
Then maybe it happened the year
I
before.
think it was
in
the first
OKC.
year he was there.
And then it happened again.
Yeah.
No, he's had multiple seasons of being
They
disappointing in
lost
the
to the
playoffs.
Jazz. He averaged 25. He shot 36.5 from 3 and shot 43% from the field. I wouldn't classify that as a stinker.
Yeah,
I think he had
that's
some
not a
stinker
stinker.
games. I don't know.
He definitely had a game. I think he had a game where he shot like 3 for like 19 or some shit. Like it was bad.
He had stinker games, still averaged 25. I mean, a few
I don't
bad
know, man.
games,
You
a few
can't-
really good games. I mean,
You're a superstar. You really can't come up small in the big moments.
He
at all.
did
of
stink in the closeout game.
There you
Westbrook
go.
dropped 46, and Paul George
No,
dropped
but-
5 on 2 for 16 shooting.
There it is.
I will stand corrected.
mind.
I will
Never
stand
mind.
corrected.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know.
bro.
I don't classify Paul George as a playoff stinker, though.
No, not
He has every guy has had some sinkers. I watched
Yeah.
fucking Paul George go head to head with fucking LeBron and the Heatles, bro.
No, I agree. We've also seen in the last recent years, PG has had really good playoff performances and playoff runs. Like
Yeah.
we've seen that. So I give him credit where it's due. But
Oh.
he's had his fair share of sucking.
The Harden situation is just so tricky though because I doubt he plays for Philly. He can't play for Philly.
He'll
again.
never play for Philly
Right?
again.
After calling the GM a liar
Right.
in front of everybody.
I mean, but he doesn't care.
He
Daryl
could.
Morey
I
doesn't
don't know.
care. Daryl Morey, if he can't trade him for a package that
He will keep his ass on the
likes, he will
roster.
keep his ass. Yeah.
I think everybody else on the team has grown pretty frustrated with how
Right.
James Harden is. I mean, these guys are guys
weird. They
that
were hanging out.
basically live together for months at a time. And when your boy is like, yeah, nah, of this team, I don't like y'all. I'm going somewhere else.
Well,
And-
Tyrese Maxey was asked about it the other day.
no,
and
really, that's how it is.
Nah,
though.
no.
Tyrese Maxey was asked about it the other day, and his response was, "Well, this isn't our first rodeo,"
No,
Oh,
right.
referring to the Ben Simmons thing.
Yeah,
But-
I
They've
mean,
been through this.
these dudes are just tired of this kind of scenario
Behavior.
behavior. They would want a star that wants to play with them.
Like Ben Simmons.
Bro, all right. So I'll pose this question: If Harden gets traded and it's for like Norman Powell, Robert Covington, and like a first or something like that, are we exploring Joel Embiid trades?
You already are.
You explore it. The
Do you think you
Sixers
keep
have
him for this season?
the Sixers have
Yeah.
no reason to trade him unless he asks out.
Yeah.
Why are you trading the MVP? You know, there's no reason to trade. When you have a guy like that, your roster construction becomes easier. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because you already have that guy.
It's
You just
so
gotta
hard to get
fill out
that
around.
guy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so there's no reason to trade him unless he asks out.
What's the ceiling for a for an Embiid, Maxey, Toby big three?
Depends on Maxey. A lot of people think Maxey is that guy and can take that jump. If there's no Harden there, you have like objectively he's going to take a jump. He's a good enough
Well, he's
player
gonna
where
have
he's
to, yeah.
going to improve, but then it comes down to how much will he improve? How much will that translate to the playoffs? Because now you're not playing in the playoffs as a number 3. You're in the playoffs where defenses have a week to game plan for you as the
Yep.
number 2. So
Yep.
it depends on Tyrese Maxey. I think Tobias is fine. Like I like Tobias Harris. I
Yeah,
For what he's getting
good.
paid,
He's a
though,
good.
He's overpaid, but
you
it's
just
not his
wish he
fault.
was a little bit better, but what are you gonna do? I mean,
Yeah.
you
He's
kind
a
of knew
really
exactly
good
who he was
basketball
when you
player.
signed him.
He's a really good basketball.
I don't know. It's tricky. It's and then it's like, who's going to trade for James Harden? The only team is the Clippers because he's saying he wants to go there. But other than the Clippers, who else would trade?
Miami?
I saw reports of Miami, the Clippers, and the Bulls.
Oh
I don't
my God.
see
I've
why
seen the
Bulls would
Bulls.
ever
I don't know
do that.
why we would do
If
that.
the Bulls do
Well,
that.
because the Bulls are also saying that DeMar DeRozan is untouchable. They want to keep him around for the future, which is
Well,
nuts.
yeah,
but
That
so,
can't be true.
I do think it's true. I don't mind keeping DeMar around. Like, I think he's fine. I
No,
think
but
guys can learn from him. But then it's like, so you're going to keep DeMar, so that means you're going to trade Zach LaVine for James Harden? Like, no.
I don't-
get you.
I
We-
didn't see that they were going to trade Zach LaVine, though. I thought they were going to try to do it without trading
Make
Zach LaVine
the
and make
big
it a
three.
Yeah.
That's a
man.
horrible big three,
But
by
what
the
kind
way.
of package can
I mean,
they
at that
put
point,
together?
what else
If
are
we
the Bulls gonna
trade,
do?
if we trade Patrick Williams for James Harden, I'm retiring my Bulls fandom, honestly. And I love James Harden, but I'm gonna retire.
That's just
That
such a
would be
weird
horrible.
big three. James Harden, DeMar, and
And
Zach
Zach LaVine.
Can't forget about Vucci, man.
Three
It's the
shooting
core
guards.
four.
Yeah.
He'd be in the trade, I'd assume.
And then like Miami,
He's on top.
Miami's not
I
trading.
like Miami.
Three-
Miami's
trade.
not trading
Bro,
for James
but
Harden.
imagine
Why
James
not?
Harden, Jimmy
Because
and
they're
Bam.
saving everything they got for Damian
It's not even
Lillard.
about that.
But
Like
it is, because it's going to happen.
I could see
He's not-
like
they're not
It's
gonna-
gotta happen.
I
It's
could see the
happening.
thought process of okay, if they whiff on Dame, then the next option is James Harden. But bro, it's fucking Pat Riley. He don't want no James
I
Harden,
don't
bro.
think they're getting.
And you're not dealing with, you're not dealing with James Harden's bullshit
Feel like-
in Miami.
I feel like it would have happened.
He culture's a real
No.
thing.
James Harden,
Like
Miami.
he requested a trade
No.
what 2-3 months ago.
No,
I don't think
Portland
it's
has
gonna
no
happen.
reason to trade him until
the Heat make an offer that
until he says not even he says because he kind of
he
already was
has.
saying it, but until he's literally not reporting, they don't have to trade him. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I think it's still a foregone conclusion he will end up in a Miami Heat jersey for next season. I think we can
What
move
are
on
our
from
final
this.
predictions? Where is James Harden playing next season?
I think James Harden stays as a Philadelphia 76er.
Bro, I
don't think he
seen
goes
people.
anywhere.
I seen people saying that he loves China so much. He might
I
go
was
play there.
about to fucking
Like-
say
Bro, I mean-
China.
Like,
Yeah.
bro,
I was about to say
imagine
China.
he's just like, you know what?
He just
I love
plays-
it there so much. I'm gonna go play basketball.
He's
there.
playing
What do
in
you think
does.
James Harden would average in China
Oh,
if he
my
played
God.
one season?
70.
Yeah.
Right now,
lot of
he'd
points.
average 70. I'm not even kidding.
Like if anything like that was ever to happen, now's the time.
He's going to
You know?
fucking China.
That would be the most.
I could see it.
Nah, that would be legendary.
I'm
That would be
gonna-
legendary if instead of getting $35 million, he goes, "I'm going to go play in
I don't
China."
think he's going to the Clippers, bro. I just don't. I don't
I'm
know
gonna
if it
predict the
happens.
Clippers. I think that just seems out of all the possible destinations, that one just seems like the most likely. I don't know.
He's not staying in Philly. No other team's gonna fucking trade for him. So I guess by default you have to pick the Clippers.
I mean, it all depends if.
Yo, what's wrong with you today?
Dropping everything.
You are a mess today.
I'm not a mess. That's
You're
not
a
saying
mess.
mess.
No, you're a mess. Stupid.
Yo,
Really?
you better chill, dude.
Oh, or else.
I dropped my.
He's gonna hit you with his heart book.
It's a nice book. It's my
His
my
journal.
Journal.
His dream
Heart
journal.
I don't have dreams.
That was deep.
I don't have.
Oh my god.
It's my note journal.
So where's James Harden going, Dean?
Okay. I don't think he's going to the Clippers. I don't think he's staying in Philly either. I could see Philly happening more than the
Why do you
Clippers.
say it like that?
Dude, are you gonna stop?
No, you made fun of my friend.
Team that I would like to see, super interesting. That would never ever happen. My dream scenario: the Pelicans.
So you have
I was
dreams.
literally just looking at that team.
I would love
I
the
was looking at it.
Pelicans.
That'd be
Did you have
pretty
that
cool.
dream
That'd be
last
a
night? Did you
great
write
one.
that
I don't
down?
think James would ever go for that.
Hey, bro, New Orleans. He
Bro,
likes eating.
him and Zion
Does
would
like
eat so
eating.
much gumbo.
They would actually,
They would have a gumbo off.
they would actually
They
just be
really
the
would.
overweight big boys.
Yeah.
Yo, Harden would report at 350 pounds.
I mean,
Goes in the
I guess
same
if
way
I were
as
to
Zion.
predict what I really think's gonna happen, I don't think he's getting moved until at least mid-season.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Does he
I
suit
agree.
up?
Yeah,
I think.
I
so.
think he
Suits
suits up.
I think he just plays really bad.
I just
Suit
think
up.
the toxic environment
Like
that he
fat
brings
suit.
to a locker
Yeah.
room is deterring a lot of teams, including the Clippers. Like if the Clippers obviously would trade for him, they are title contenders, but
They don't want to trade legitimate assets for him.
for someone who might not want to be there come
Exactly.
midseason.
Yeah, exactly.